So hello and welcome again to Michigan Nonprofit Association's orientation webinar. The goal for today's webinar is that you get an overview of your member benefits and how to access them. If you're a new member, welcome to MNA. We're really pleased to have you on board. If you happen to be joining and are just considering membership, that's okay too. You'll get a really good sense of what is available to you through today's webinar presentation. We will be going through a lot of information today pretty quickly, so don't feel like you have to write it down. I'll show you where you can find a recording of this webinar after the fact. And just know that we want you to get a basic sense of what's available to you. You might not be able to use all the things right now, but maybe in 6 months when you're thinking about a project and you remember one of the benefits that we mentioned, you can always reach out to us for more specific information on how to access that benefit. So that's really the goal of today's webinar, is to give you an overview of Michigan Nonprofit Association and your benefits. So starting there, MNA was incorporated in 1990. We serve more than 1,000 member organizations statewide. We do that through capacity building, civic engagement, and public policy, all three things which we will tell you more about during today's presentation. My name is Sarah Pinder. I'm the Engagement Director for Michigan Nonprofit Association. You can see my picture there in the middle. I'm joined today by Mario.
Hello, everyone.
Who is our Client Services Coordinator. And another member of our stakeholder engagement team, which is how we work to serve our members, is Bill Gesselman. He's our Strategic Growth Officer. Again, don't feel like you have to write down all our contact information. I will show you where to find that on our website. So one of the ways that MNA serves the nonprofit sector is through public policy and advocacy work. We focus on policy issues that affect the full nonprofit sector more so than subsector issues. So some of those policy issues we focus on are things like tax policy, budget and spending, and public and private collaborations. My colleague Joan Gustafson is our External Affairs Officer. If you ever have questions about policy or maybe something that you're dealing with currently in your organization, reach out to Joan. She likes to hear what's happening in the field from members like you. Now, I didn't mention earlier, but if you need support during the webinar or you have questions, feel free to use the chat box or question function. And Mario is going to be doing some presenting, but he's also going to be here behind the scenes helping to answer your questions. So now we're going to go ahead and click over to the MNA website, which is hopefully something you've seen before, but it is how you access the majority of your member benefits. So that's where we're going to spend the majority of our presentation today. So as you can see, we're on the website. One quick note about your membership: it does include all of your organization, meaning you can extend these member benefits to your staff members, board members, and sometimes even key volunteers. So when you registered for membership, you would have received a username and password. The primary and secondary account representatives that are listed on your account receive those. So if you're not a primary or secondary account holder, you would need to check with that person to learn more there about how to get logged in. So if you are planning to share your benefits throughout your organization, you can do that a couple different ways. You can log in and control, set up, and give permissions to various people in your organization who may want their own username and password, or you're welcome to share that information across your organization if that makes it easier for you. So when you come to the MNA website, I highly encourage you to go ahead and log in, the first thing that you do. You can see underneath here the login screen, there are some quick links for forgot username or forgot your password, which you can use if you don't have this information. Also below that are some quick web videos that you can watch if you're having any common problems with getting your password reset or other things like that. Again, you can always reach out to us and we can assist you with that. That will most likely be Mario. He's who you talk with when you call in. and he's very helpful, but try out those troubleshooting links or the videos first, and you may get your question answered more quickly. So when you log in, you're on the member dashboard. This does list all the benefits and has some quick links to some of our most used resources. I want to point out a couple of the links over here on the left under member account. Under membership details, this is where you can update information about your organization, address, mission statement, etc. When you scroll down below all that information, you'll also see contacts. This is where you add a new contact and you can give them permissions. Your admins are going to have permission to add and delete members, or add and delete those additional contacts, as well as, for instance, complete your renewal payment when that comes around. So they have the most access, and then you can certainly set up users that don't have that access as well. So check out membership details. You really get a lot of capability there by understanding what you can do on that page. MNA member discount codes. Anytime we run an event or publish a publication, we always have a member and non-member rate. So in order to get your member rate, you will need a discount code, meaning you will need to log in and come to this page to figure out what the discount code is. So just know that that's how you access this page. You can also edit your login profile. I would encourage you to update your login password to something that you'll easily remember. That way, when you decide that you need to log in and check out MNA's website for some information, you don't need to go tracking down that password for your account. So that's some things you can do from your member dashboard. Now I'm going to show you a few things on our website which I hope will help you navigate and access your resources so that you're getting the most out of your benefits. Under who we are, I'm starting over here on the right side. We're going to work our way back over here to the membership tab, but I want to point out a few highlights here. Under who we are, we do have our staff all listed with contact information. Feel free to reach out to someone directly. If they're not the person that can help you, they will certainly pass your message along. But right there, you're able to connect with people directly. Another way to connect with us is to visit the Get Connected tab. This will help you get signed up for e-newsletters, which is something I highly encourage you do. You do not have to be a member to be on our e-newsletter list. And you can get bi-weekly updates through our My Nonprofit News for things like trainings, happenings, trends, etc. Please know when you sign up for our e-newsletters that it does write over your previous subscription. So each time you sign up, you want to make sure that you sign up for all the newsletters you want to get. Another way to connect with us is on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So feel free to follow us on any of those sites that you may prefer to get your news and information that way. So now we're going to scroll over. I'm going to hand the program over to Mario, and he's going to tell you a little bit about MNA's technology services.
Thanks, Sarah. One of the ways MNA serves the nonprofit sector is through our technology services. The team at MNA Tech is very knowledgeable and personable. If you're the accidental techie at your office and you maybe don't want to continue being that sole resource, or there's a need for something tech-related, please consider reaching out to MNA Tech. They can assist further with things like technology planning, managing your servers, and various other technology-related items. The team is extremely helpful and can even be reached by contacting them over the hotline and help desk for any of those unexpected problems that spring up around the office. More details can be found under that Technology Services tab on our website, and you can get more information to connect from there. Now I'm going to hand it back over to Sarah to review our civic engagement.
Thanks, Mario. So as I mentioned, one of the ways that MNA serves the nonprofit sector is through civic and community engagement. We do this in a couple different ways. Right now, we are doing a lot of work around our Census 2020 campaign, the Michigan Nonprofit Counts campaign. We are very dedicated to this work in the respect that getting a fair and accurate count for the census in 2020 is especially important for Michigan. It affects both our funding that comes into the state as well as our representation. For instance, in Michigan, it's estimated that for each person that isn't counted, there's a potential loss of $1,800 per year over 10 years per person who isn't counted. So that's huge. We think nonprofits are particularly well suited to help in this campaign because they often are well trusted by hard to count populations, which tend to be elderly people, children, people of color, and other marginalized communities. So we think you're well suited to help in this campaign, make sure that Michigan gets a fair and accurate count. As well as nonprofits can easily be the ones that will be affected by decreased federal funding based on our census counts. If you think about all the money that comes into nonprofits through pass-through opportunities and such, it is critical services that are funded using that money. So there is a lot to know about Census 2020. We are working through a hub model where we have regional census hubs. If you're unfamiliar with what that is and which organization that is in your region, I'd encourage you to check out this website. You can get a ton more information there. And a lot of these regional census hubs are giving out mini grants to nonprofits who want to do programming around getting a fair and accurate count for the census. Check out the website, sign up for the e-newsletter there. Trust me, there's lots to know, and you will be seeing even more about this as we get to the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020. Another way that we serve through civic and community engagement is through our AmeriCorps Vista program. MNA hosts this program each year, and we place 32 AmeriCorps Vistas, which are volunteers in service to America, at nonprofits around the state of Michigan. If you're interested in learning more about that, definitely reach out to my colleague Maggie. She's usually looking for new host sites around the first of the year and recruiting for Vista volunteers around in the spring and summer. So those are a couple different ways to engage with that. Now, continuing over, I'm going to go over here to the left to our Research and Publications tab. We have lots of great research and publications that you can take advantage of. One of those is our Michigan Nonprofit Compensation and Benefit Report. This report is published every 2 years. This most recent copy came out in the first quarter of 2019. It is data that's collected through a survey and then reported back out to you about what nonprofits, what staff they have, how much they're paying those staff, what they're giving them in benefits, etc. It's a really great tool for you to use as a nonprofit leader if you're hiring positions, or even if you're a board member and you're interested in learning more or interested in making competitive compensation packages. So check that out. As a member, you can receive it for a discounted rate of $165. Below that is our Michigan Nonprofit Management Manual. This is my favorite resource to talk about because it's just very, very practical. It includes 12 different chapters on various topics such as budgets, fund development, record keeping, human resources, etc. It really is the basics of nonprofit management. It's quite long. It's about 600 pages long. Certainly not something you read cover to cover. But with the table of contents in the index, you can easily find questions to your answers to your questions. Not the other way around. But I always tell people, if you call me with a question, it's the very first thing I pull off my shelf. So check that out. Again, you can get that at the member discounted rate of $75. This publication, An Introduction to Working in Michigan's Nonprofit Sector, comes with our Career Development membership, which is an individual level membership if you're interested in that. This is a great thing to pass along with someone that might be interested in working in the nonprofit sector or just learning more. You can also purchase that for $10. You'll see as I scroll through here, there's a lot. I'm not going to talk about them all today, but I am going to scroll down and mention a couple other additional ones. MNA Links magazine is a member-only benefit. You'll receive this in your mailbox as a member, and it includes articles on hot topics and trends and various other information. So keep an eye out for MNA Links. There's also one here towards the bottom, the Nonprofit Advocacy, a Michigan Primer. This is a great educational piece. If you're interested in getting a nonprofit into advocacy, nonprofits can advocate. There are some rules around what you can and can't do, so you definitely want to know the rules. And this document is definitely like a 101 education on that. And pretty easy to read. It has lots of pictures and such. So it's a helpful document, and it's available there for free download. Economic benefits of Michigan's nonprofit sector, I'm not going to go into today, but I highly encourage you to check that out. We were able to do this research study a few years ago and find out really cool statistics, such as the fact that Michigan has more than 50,000 nonprofits, and almost 11% of Michigan's workforce works in the nonprofit sector. If you're ever talking with an elected official and you need to make the case of why nonprofits are important in your community, this research and data can help you do that. Plus, it has a really cool function where you can download a template of a chart that's just for your community, and you can show that to whoever might be interested in knowing that localized data. We also recently launched our diversity, inclusion, and equity assessment. This is a really great way to, it's basically an assessment that you share with your staff and your board. So you're asking them to tell you what they, how they think your organization is doing in the areas of diversity, inclusion, and equity. You get a neat report with it. There's a few different ways to access it. I am the lead on that project. I'd love to talk with you about it if diversity, inclusion, and equity is something that you are interested in moving forward from there. Okay, so public policy and advocacy, again, something that MNA does to serve the sector. If you click on this page, you can see our various framework for our policy initiatives, et cetera, the types of things that we work on. So you can find out a lot more information there. We do help to manage the Michigan Nonprofit Caucus. This is a bipartisan and bicameral group, meaning bipartisan, both Democrat and Republican, and bicameral, members of the House and the Senate. So if you're interested in learning more about that, check out that page. The other thing I want to point out here is that if you're in the Southeast Michigan area as a member, you are eligible to attend meetings of the Southeast Michigan Public Policy Council. This is a specific regional group that focuses on areas of advocacy that are especially important to the Southeast Michigan region. So check out that if you want more information. And now I'm going to go over here to our membership tab and turn it back over to Mario, who's going to talk a little bit about the Nonprofit Job Center.
Thanks again, Sarah. Now, as she mentioned, under the membership tab, you can find more information about our Nonprofit Job Center. This is one of our most frequently used resources here at MNA. There are a few different ways you can interact with the Job Center. One is by simply browsing what jobs are currently available by clicking on the blue Current Job Postings button right there, and it'll bring up the most recently posted opportunities within our Michigan nonprofit sector. Another way you can even sort those options by categories and narrowing it down to your desired search parameters on that previous page, this one. It's also great for a nonprofit leader who's looking to maybe hire someone in Michigan. Just click on the submission form button right there under the Job Center tab to complete the job posting. The rates are $75 for a single 30-day posting for any MNA member, and $165 for non-members with the logo usage included. We strongly encourage you to post any openings with our Job Center. Another great way that you can engage with the Nonprofit Job Center is by getting signed up for those weekly emails that we mentioned earlier under the Get Connected page. You will get signed up for our weekly Friday morning Nonprofit Job Center e-newsletter blast, which goes out to about 6,000 subscribers weekly, as well as get the most recent up-to-date information about what is available here in the sector. This is a great resource to stay up to date on those positions if you're currently seeking employment, or you can, and the way to do that, as I mentioned, is by getting signed up to the e-newsletter sign up here and selecting the Nonprofit Job Center email under this submission form here. If you have any questions about these e-newsletters or you want to manage those subscriptions, please feel free to reach out to me and I can help you manage those a little bit more according to your preferences. Now I'll hand it back off to Sarah once again to talk a little bit more about additional M&A benefits.
Thanks, Mario. We're going to go back under the membership tab and click the second menu item there, which is nonprofit resources. You'll see from here we pull up the chart of all of our member benefits that are available. At the top there is our compensation and benefit report. We talked about that a little already. So I'm going to scroll down to this first section that says fundraising and finance support. So one of your benefits in this area is free access to GrantStation. GrantStation is an online grants database system that you can use to find new grant opportunities. When you click through to GrantStation, you'll see your name or whomever the name is of the person you're logged in under up here in the top. Then you're able to access all of these resources that GrantStation has on their website. And trust me, they have a ton of educational materials. Not going to go through those today, but under this Write Proposals tab, I highly encourage you to check it out. They provide great resources, and if you've never written a grant before, that would be hugely beneficial to look at. The main part that I'm going to show you is under searchable listings here, and you can see under here there's all these different databases of grant opportunities. I'm going to use the U.S. Charitable database because it seems to be the most broad. And as you can see over here on the left, there's some instructions on how to use their database. Over here on the right is the parameters that you can use to narrow down the grant opportunities. I'm going to go ahead and start narrowing these down. I'm going to say I want to look in Michigan. It does do an automatic update as I choose these parameters. So it is going to look a little funny on your screen as it keeps loading and taking me to the top. But I've chosen Michigan. I've chosen arts and culture as my area of interest. Maybe I want to do type of support, general operating support. Now, as you can see, in those search parameters that are laid out here on the right side, I have 53 results. So these foundations over here on the left all give grants within those parameters. Again, you can continue to work on your parameters and narrow them down if you don't want to look through 53 records. So I'm going to click on one and see what else we find out here. So Frank N. Anderson Foundation. We can see that it supports in Bay and Saginaw counties in Michigan, the types of the areas of interest that they include, how to apply. Over here on the right, contact information, they actually have the primary contact as the vice president. They give $253,000, about that much each year. Just a plethora of information. There's also a really new feature and cool feature on GrantStation where you can start to create your own grants dashboard. You can save this, you can email your profile. That means anytime you log back into GrantStation, that information will be there and it becomes this working dashboard for your grant strategy. So that's just a little bit about GrantStation. Check out their website for lots of educational materials. They also do include some helpful videos that help you understand how to use their system better. So definitely check out GrantStation. It's one of your biggest member benefits. You should absolutely be using it. Just know that in order to get access to it, you have to log in through the MNA website, and then you'll have free access to all their resources. The Foundation Directory Online is another online grants database. We offer a 15% discount on that, so you can check out that if you're interested in that service. This Finance Unlocked for Nonprofits is actually a short web video series. It's about 6 videos that are all about finance. They were presented to us by our fellow state association out in Washington State. They're done with a CPA and an improv actor, so they're actually pretty entertaining. I suggest that people might want to use this when you're onboarding new staff. Maybe you're onboarding new board members and you need them or want them to have a basic understanding of how finance works in nonprofits. If you're interested in credit card processing services, we partner with Card Connect, and they do offer discounts to our members. Below that is our links for free and discounted education. We have discounted or free events listed on our MNA events calendar. You'll see them listed here. You can click on them to get more information. If you see, there's none listed right now, but if you see one with a little orange icon of a person next to it, that means there's a member rate, so you would receive a discount. That can always be accessed through the front page of our website as well. The recorded webinar archive is where we will put the webinar recording from today. It also includes some other webinars that you can access on demand whenever it's convenient for you. We talked a little bit about the diversity, inclusion, and equity assessment, so I'm going to skip down to the second row. MindEdge is an online learning platform. They offer a lot of different courses, things in grant writing, budgeting, fundraising, governance. This is a great example of how you can pass the benefits along to your staff. So you might see some courses in here that you think would be really great for your staff to participate in. They're really affordable, anywhere from $79 to $150. And they can even get some continuing education credits for it. So check out MindEdge. As a member, you receive a 10% discount on those courses. We do have a document library. This includes things like volunteer management, communications, some things on finance, and governance resources, so check that out. We also work with All Campus. They provide discounts to certain higher education institutions, and you can see what they offer by clicking there. Principles for Good Governance and Ethical Practice is a report put out by our friends at Independent Sector, a national organization that advocates on behalf of nonprofits. This is a free download, so if you're interested in learning more about what it is they say your nonprofit should have in place for good governance and ethical practice, you can download that resource. We already talked about the management manual and links, so I'm continuing down. As you can see from the next few areas on the chart there, we partner with some of the largest educational institutions in the state of Michigan. University of Michigan Dearborn offers a 20% discount off their tuition and fees for members of Michigan Nonprofit Association. Oakland University offers a 25% discount on their full nonprofit management certificate. We also partner with Michigan State University, specifically on their executive MBA program. They waive the application fee for that program, but also offer 2 annual scholarships for current nonprofit professionals who are interested in pursuing their executive MBA degree. And those scholarships are 50% off tuition for that program, which is an amazing opportunity. So I'd encourage you to check that out if you're interested. We also work with Davenport University. They offer a 20% tuition discount, again, available to your employees and even the dependents of your employees. New Horizons Computer Learning Centers also offer 10 to 20% discount off of technology and business skills training courses. Lots of opportunities for continued education. I know we are right at our time. I probably have about 5 to 7 minutes more content. I hope you'll stick with us. If you can't, though, you now know where to find the recording, and you can check in at a later date. Nonstop Wellness is a group that we work with to offer health care to specifically to the larger nonprofits who have more than 50 employees on benefits. It's a way for the employees to save money on their health care as well as the organization. It's a pretty unique product. So if you're interested in learning more about that, definitely check out Nonstop Wellness. We also just recently partnered with Mutual of America, who waives their administrative fees for dealing with retirement plans. So again, if you're interested, if that's something you need to offer, or maybe you're not offering that right now, check out Mutual of America. Mario already told us about the Nonprofit Job Center, and we talked about the Comp and Benefits Report. So I'm continuing down the chart here. Constellation HR is a performance and compensation management system. If you manage a lot of employees and need some help managing reviews and giving them goals and having them be able to update their goals throughout the year, Constellation HR is a pretty neat product. You can definitely learn more here. There's also these 3 links at the bottom that go to older webinars that can give you some great information on topic areas, and also then a brief overview of the actual Constellation HR product. Verified Volunteers is a service that offers discounted background checks. The discount for a nonprofit or for MNA members is 20%. The unique thing about Verified Volunteers is they allow your volunteer background checks to be shared with other organizations in your community that would also accept Verified Volunteers. That can save you money as the organization. It can save the volunteer time and hassle. So check out Verified Volunteers. You can also watch a video that we have in the webinar library as well that will tell you more about Verified Volunteers. We also just started working with Paychecks. They do offer discounts on payroll processing, as well as some help with HR compliance, which is often a need area for nonprofits. So Paychecks is a great resource. They've been a good partner to us, and I'd encourage you to check them out if that's something that your organization is looking for services in. We also partner with Lyman & Sheets, a local agency that helps connect people to director and officer liability insurance. It's the type of liability insurance that you absolutely should have for your nonprofit, and you can get a free quote here through our website. We talked about MNA Tech. The other resource that we have in technology is a free year's worth of benefits through N10. N10 is a nonprofit technology network. They offer things like an annual conference, specific job postings to tech jobs, and then webinars and other educational materials, and you would receive a free year's worth of member benefits through N10. So you can check that out as well. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Mario to talk a little bit about how you can make some connections and to close it out for us today.
Hey, thanks, Sarah. So MNA offers 3 types of membership: nonprofit, business, and career development. Because of this, we have a variety of businesses, both small and large, that are part of our grander statewide network, and I'm sure they're happy to connect with you if you're looking for services. One of your featured MNA benefits is complete access to our business marketplace directory, which is a great resource for nonprofits seeking specific services from those who are experts in the sector. This online database can connect your organization with independent contractors or firms that are looking to serve your needs. Now, please note, although these are all great businesses, we do strongly suggest that you still perform your own due diligence before hiring or contracting any of the businesses found through this search. So this is how you can get connected with those people in our network. Much like the great business marketplace tool, MNA has the nonprofit member directory, which provides the contact information of our nonprofit organizations within our network. Through this resource, multiple or other organizations can connect on potential collaborative efforts or joint projects throughout the region. And it's a great way to get that conversation going between 2 like-minded organizations. As well, we do have another great feature that is wonderful for nonprofits. So if you're a nonprofit leader seeking to reach some of our business members with specific needs, the RFP or request for proposal distribution feature can be a very helpful resource. Just complete the short form found here at this button. This is Begin Application, and your submission will be distributed to a variety of businesses and business members who have identified services in the area of your inquiry that you submit. That's another great way to get connected with additional M&A resources. As well, we do have a list of trusted partners and resources that are available throughout the state of Michigan. Depending on your browser, it may either open into a new tab or download as a PDF, as you see on your screen in front of you. And this is a great way to get that information connected, to get connected with these additional institutions and trusted partners throughout the state of Michigan. And these are also, and some of these quick reference information include things like the National Council of Nonprofits or the Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, which I'm sure we're all well aware of their presence. This is a very helpful guide for navigating some of the institutions in the nonprofit network, both at the state level as well as some that are available at the federal level. So that's also available in this bottom Making Connections section. Additionally, we do have, so MNA has a considerable statewide following as well as a growing online presence. So advertising with us is a great platform to broadcast your upcoming events, programming, or just general opportunities. To find out more information and more details about our specific sponsorship packages, you can review the options found on the Advertising and Sponsorship Opportunity page on the website. As you can see here, we have a variety of opportunities that we would encourage you to check out and connect with us if you had any interest in following up. And then the last, but certainly not least, feature of your member benefits that you have access to that we want to draw your attention is the Capacity Building Centers Network. And this is a great resource for making connections and meeting those needs that maybe or resources that you can get connected with that maybe aren't available elsewhere. And so what this is the 11 nonprofit organizations throughout the state of Michigan. We are the 11th one, so there's a list of 10 additional ones here in front of you. It has, as you can see, it has a brief description of what their mission is and what they do. You can even get contact information. You can visit their website to get further details on their services provided and make those connections external to us. Now, this listing provides more information about those 11 organizations, and it really helps meet the local, provide local capacity building services to other nonprofits. And it's really through this collaborative effort that the Michigan nonprofit sector continues to grow healthier and stronger. So we encourage you to further review what's available there and make any additional external connections. And that will be the conclusion of us reviewing your member benefits. We appreciate your time on the line with us. We hope that we've been helpful, and please don't hesitate to reach out to us with any additional needs or concerns. Have a great day.